Hello everyone, Juxtaposition here. Today's video will be entitled The Ghosts of Benedict Canyon, Beverly Hills 90210. I think we all are familiar with the zip code there. Anyway, I'm going to go back and revisit the alleged triple murder that occurred this year on Saturday morning early, January 28, 2023. Allegedly, 3 women from out of town, 2 from Chicago and 1 from Phoenix, Arizona, were murdered in the driveway of 2799 Ellison Drive in the Beverly Crest area of Beverly Hills. Let me just help explain. It's off Benedict Canyon. It's at the end of a dead-end road, cul-de-sac, 2799 Ellison Drive. And it's the same exact spelling as Caroline Ellison, who was the CEO of Alameda Research, which was the quantitative mechanics mathematical operation along with future trading, FTX Sam Bankman-Fried. Caroline Ellison was a graduate of Stanford University, which right there tells you she's plugged into CIA, right? And she's plugged in with Sam Bankman-Fried, whose parents were law professors at the Stanford Law School, which is code for maritime law. We don't need law professors here because we don't have any constitutional law on the Stanford University campus, nor do we have any in Silicon Valley. So ask Doug Leone of Sequoia Capital at 2800 Sand Hill Road if you have any questions about bank meltdowns, you know, like FTX or Alameda Research. He would know. He approved the board of directors. He reimburses Sam Bankman-Fried's expense accounts. So if you have any questions, just go ask Doug Leone. He's apparently worth over $7 billion. He came from Mount Vernon, New York, the Bronx, and partnered with Don Valentine from Fordham University, the Bronx. And Don Valentine died 13 days after they found the dead body of Aaron Valente, age 33, who was meeting with KKR Accenture at 2500 Sand Hill Road, which is the Henry Kravis, Barbarian at the Gate, George Roberts, Jerome Kohlberg's private bank, located at 2800 Sand Hill Road Executive Office, next to Doug Leone. And they got together in 1976. Doug Leone followed later. But they're the ones that brought you all these phony, fake bank failures because, you know, every bank in the world is insolvent, technically insolvent. And it's all a magic act. So when people are unconcerned about the banking system, I don't know why they'd be concerned because we have the Silicon Valley Bank going out of business or FTX crypto going out of business. Nothing's changed. Everything is in the same state of scandal as it was when no one was concerned at all and there was no fear porn videos being posted about how our banking system is going to be tanked. It'll be tanked whenever the banks decide. But social credit score, digital currency, guess what? That can be exploded and tanked too. The entire game that the banks play is based on techno-enslavement, brain restructuring. In other words, the banks are reliant upon your belief in their cult ritual money system. So the moment that you lose confidence in it in great numbers, the banks lose control. They lose complete control. Maybe not 100% control, but they lose a substantial amount of control, especially if you know where they live. Then they lose 100% of control. Anyway, you won't be surprised to know that our favorite Hollywood actor, Jack Nicholson, who lives alone, well, with his bodyguards, I guess, he lives at 12,850 Mulholland Drive. He also bought the 2 homes next to him. He bought the home adjacent to him at 12,830 Mulholland Drive, so that's 2. And then he bought Marlon Brando's home after Marlon Brando died. That's 12,900. So it's 12,850, 12,830, 12,900. And you add those properties together, you get about 3 acres of land. That's walking distance to this triple murder. And you would use Summit Ridge Drive to get to the murder. That would be quick like a bunny rabbit. However, besides no sidewalks, it's a gated road. Summit Ridge Drive, which is a regular street that runs from the bottom of Benedict Canyon up to the tippy top of the Santa Monica mountain range, which is which is memorialized by Mulholland Drive, it's gated in numerous places. And the reason it is that Benedict Canyon is a military complex. It's like a submarine. It has compartments, and they can seal off different neighborhoods. Okay, so just for quick like a bunny rabbit, I am an expert on the Sharon Tate, Abigail Folger murder scene, and you know, they keep calling it Cielo Drive, but if you really wanted to study the crime scene, and you'd study the perimeter. And the perimeter is Angelo Drive, Sunbrook Drive, Davies Drive, named after Marion Davies, the girlfriend of William Randolph Hearst. She's directly, her street has been named, and it's directly above the Sharon Tate murder scene. And then you'd have Cielo Drive, and you'd have Bella Drive. So those are the 5 principal perimeter roads that encompass the cul-de-sacs, which we're talking about 3 cul-de-sacs. There are 3 cul-de-sacs that culminate where Sharon Tate was murdered, okay? And that was a real murder. But there were crisis actors involved in the interviews with the fake media on the weekend of August 9th and 10th. There were crisis actors present. And guess what? There were crisis actors present for this January 28th, 2023 murder. And I will give you the names of the women that are allegedly were killed, because we don't really have any proof that they were. I haven't seen any death certificates, and the media isn't covering the story anymore. All right, so here we go. The victims, there were 7 victims. They will not name the undead victims, the victims that were wounded by semi-automatic rifle fire but didn't die. The medical examiner's office identified Destiny Sims, age 26, from Phoenix, Arizona. Destiny Sims kind of sounds like a porn name. Then we have Nia, spelled N-E-N-A-H, Nina Davis, age 29, and Iyanna Hutton, age 33. And Iyanna is spelled I-Y-A-N-A. She's 33. Nina Davis is 29. They're from Chicago, near Cicero, which is CIA hub, Cicero. And they're all black girls. So none of them are from Beverly Hills. None of them attended Hollywood High School. So they're not locals. And they're all supposedly killed at the end of a cul-de-sac in Benedict Canyon at 2799 Ellison Drive, just below Jack Nicholson's 3-acre compound. There's another road, Beverly Park Drive. It parallels Summit Ridge Drive, which are both directly above the Franklin Canyon watershed, which is at the top of the Franklin Canyon watershed sits the Jack Nicholson property, which he first bought the parcel in. Jack Nicholson purchased his first house on Mulholland Drive on July 10th, 1969. He bought 12850. That's where the Roman Polanski rape of a 13-year-old occurred. That happened on March 10th, 1977 in Jack Nicholson's home. Jack Nicholson says he was in Colorado on a ski vacation in March 1977. However, his live-in girlfriend, Angelica Houston, who was 25 years old, she was home. She was home at 12850 Mulholland Drive, whilst Roman Polanski was engaged in raping a 13-year-old Samantha Gailey. Okay, she's 13. Roman Polanski's 43. Still mourning the loss of his fake wife 8 years afterward. Angelica Houston was 25 years old. Jack Nicholson, the owner of the property, was 39 years old. He's somewhere in Colorado on a ski trip. But Angelica Houston is there. She was present. She said she left and came back, and supposed to be a photo shoot with this 13-year-old aspiring actress. Quaaludes and champagne were part of the party. Okay, I don't want to get too much into the Roman Polanski situation. I think he had no involvement whatsoever in the murder of Sharon Tate. He was her fake husband, and he was busy with Michelle Phillips in Chelsea, London, Chelsea district of London, and so he had an alibi. He was in Chelsea, London, when Sharon Tate was bayoneted 16 times. He was sleeping with a married woman, Michelle Phillips, who was married to John Phillips, who's from Baltimore, Maryland, Navy intelligence town. The Mamas and the Papas. Cass Elliot, a Jewish girl from Baltimore, just like John Phillips was from Baltimore. Cass Elliot's true name is Ellen Naomi Cohen, from the Navy intelligence town of Baltimore. She got murdered in London, across the street from where Peter Sellers got murdered in London. And then 4 years after Cass Elliot got murdered in London, Keith Moon got murdered in the same exact bedroom as Cass Elliot did. But I mean, they all died within 150 feet of each other. Peter Sellers, Keith Moon, Cass Elliot, they all died within 200 feet of each other. 1974, 1978, 1980. Okay? And then Jimi Hendrix, he died across town about a mile away on Notting Hill, and he was overdosed by barbiturate poisoning. And then Amy Winehouse died pretty close to where Jimi Hendrix died. And she died at age 27. Jimi Hendrix was 27. And Keith Moon, I think, was 32. Cass Elliot was 32. Peter Sellers was 54. And then Judy Garland, she died, I think, age 47, about a mile from the Cass Elliot murder site, about a mile from Jimi Hendrix, and about a half a mile from where Roberto Calfi was murdered in London, hung by an orange rope with a love knot from the Blackfriars Bridge. All right, so what I wanted to tell you is that if you Google Jack Nicholson's addresses, the 3 addresses, and take it over to Summit Ridge Drive, which is the quickest walking distance to this latest hoax, triple murder, Google will give you a 7-mile journey down to Wilshire Boulevard and back up Benedict Canyon, or they'll take you down to Sherman Oaks and Encino and back up the mountain. So I got to believe there's something in the algorithms with Google where they don't want you to know who lives close to these crime scenes. But you do know that Peter Falk lived within a mile of Sharon Tate's murder scene, and so did Walt Disney's mansion, although Walt Disney had died. And Art Linkletter lived 1,000 yards away from Sharon Tate's murder, and he was alive. And the Beverly Hillbillies home is within 1,000 yards away. I don't know who was living there at the time. You should know that the heiress to the Philip Morris tobacco fortune, Doris Duke, she lived, within 500 yards from the Sharon Tate murder scene in the Rudy Valentino mansion on Bella Drive. All right, so that's it for today. I'm going to call a hoax on the murder from 45 days ago that I'm supposed to believe that Destiny Sims, Nina Davis, and Ayanna Hutton were cut down in Benedict Canyon in Beverly, Crest, just below Jack Nicholson's home. And I haven't heard any updates. And this is the media laughing in our face. That's what they are. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.